unbelievable. Yes?
Hi there. I'm Connor Nicholson, president of the SSA at UCSD, and I was just wondering what we could do as a group that would best help to further the secular cause.
You want to start?
Encourage people to ask questions. Don't tell people what to think. Try to encourage people to think. Teach children how to think, but don't tell them what to think. We've had centuries, millennia of children being told what to think, and the time has come to instead get people to ask questions, get children to ask questions, and to think for themselves.
Let me add, the other thing I'd say, I think, is that to portray yourself as a positive, excited movement. I mean, what you're really, at least I think what we're all excited about, I know Richard and I are, and I think it's talked about in the movie, is we're excited about the real world. We're not negative, we're not opposed to things. We want to get people excited about the world that actually exists, not the one they've invented in their minds. And so I think if you can really work hard to show that that it's not that you're against things so much. You're maybe against nonsense, but you're pro thinking and pro being excited about reality. So I'd say do that to portray yourself. You don't have to. No, it's okay. Yes.
Some people think that religion is ineradicable, either because humans are genetically predisposed to religious belief, or that religious belief is a meme that is just too successful to eradicate. Do you think either of these are possible? And if not, what would you say to someone who does?
Well, it's clearly not ineradicable because it's been eradicated in, I would hope, most people here, and certainly everybody on the platform. It may be difficult to eradicate, but the answer to that is education. As I said before, to think for ourselves. But it's a gospel of despair to say it's ineradicable, and it's actually obviously false.
Well, and Richard, didn't you, I mean, in England, I think for the first time, didn't the sense, I mean, the point is a number of people, at least in the first world, in the developed world, that are claiming they have religious affiliation has been monotonically going down. You could, if you wanted to, predict a date when it might be zero, but it's certainly been monotonically going down. I thought in England was the first time, this last census was the first time that a majority of people or something said that they had no religious affiliation or something like that?
Well, yes, that's complicated because in Britain we have a census every 10 years. And in 2011, the census showed that something like 54% of people claimed to be Christian. That had come down from, I think, 73% in the 2001 census. However, the British branch of my foundation conducted a poll in the very week of the census because we didn't believe that the census would be properly reported. And we took those people who had ticked the Christian box in the official census, and we took a sample of them, a proper sample, and we asked them supplementary questions. You ticked the Christian box, right. What do you actually believe? Do you believe Jesus is your Lord and Savior? Do you believe that Jesus was born of a virgin? Do you believe that Jesus was resurrected? When all those subsequent questions show that these people who tick the Christian box, actually they're not Christian at all. So we asked them, why did you tick the Christian box? And the most popular answer to that was, oh, well, I like to think of myself as a good person. That's what we're up against. That's what we're up against. But we also asked the question, given that you'd like to think of yourself as a good person, when you have a moral dilemma to face, do you turn to your religion in order to solve that moral dilemma? And once again, no. Only, I think, 10% said they turned to their religion. The majority of people did what we all do, which is turn to friends, turn to that sort of sense of morality, which we all have anyway. So that suggests that although the official census said that, I think it was 54% of the British people are Christian, the real figure is far, far lower than that. And my bet is that the same would be true in America as well, if people answered poll questions honestly.
Yeah, they tend to, I think I said in the film, they tend to pick and choose what they like, most people. and don't take the whole doctrine. But I think at the same time we have to recognize that not only are we against working against the notion, it's sociological, I think, as much as biological, that being an atheist makes you a bad person, or not, or at least not being religious makes you a bad person. That puts a lot of pressure on people to at least make the statement that they're religious. But also, I think we have to say that organized religions have provided a variety of things that are useful, that have been useful not only to maintain their own power, but sociologically, sense of community, all these other things. And the key, and so people say, why do you want to get rid of religion? It does that. And to me, the important point is that, well, those are useful things, but we don't need religion to do that. I always think we should have a rock concert every Sunday instead of a church service. We'd still have the same sense of community, fun, and more drugs. But I think that I was going to. That joke made me forget what I was going to say next. I'll remember. Anyway, okay.